My sister demanded I sign over my late wife's house as payment for babysitting. Hey Reddit, so I'm Liam, 34M, and I'm seriously losing it right now. I'm a widower with two little girls, Maya 7 and Chloe 4. It's been tough, but we're managing. My older sister, Brianna, has been helping with the kids sometimes. I use quotes because she's always been the golden child, gets everything she wants. I've always felt like I'm walking on eggshells around her, constantly trying not to upset the queen. This help has turned into something I never saw coming. It's a long story, but I think I'm about to lose everything. Should I just give in? It was a Tuesday night. Rain was hammering against the windows, and Maya was having a nightmare. I was just getting her calmed down. Chloe snuggled up beside me when my phone buzzed. It was Brianna. Can we talk tomorrow? Something important, the text read. I figured it was about scheduling or something, so I said sure. Little did I know the next morning she showed up looking all serious, clutching a manila envelope. My stomach started to churn. This didn't feel like a scheduling chat. She sat down, pulled out some papers, and just laid them on the table. I need you to sign these, she said, her voice flat. I looked down and I swear I almost threw up. It was a deed to MY House, my late wife's childhood home, the one place that still felt like hers. What is this? I stammered, my hands shaking so bad I could barely hold the papers. Brianna just stared at me, this cold, calculating look in her eyes. It's compensation, Liam, for all the time I've spent with the girls, for all the sacrifices I've made. Compensation? Sacrifices. My head was spinning. She was talking about watching my kids, her nieces, after their mother died. A wave of nausea washed over me. Brianna, are you seriously asking me to sign over our house as payment for babysitting? I practically yelled. I couldn't believe the words coming out of her mouth. And then she said something I'll never forget. Well, Liam, you clearly can't handle it all on your own. I'm just trying to secure my future. Besides, she added with a sickeningly sweet smile, it's not like you can afford to pay me, can you? I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. The room started to spin. My wife's house, our memories, the one stable thing in my daughter's lives. She was trying to take it, from them, from me. I looked at her, truly looked at her, and realized I didn't even know this person. This wasn't my sister. This was a monster. I just kept shaking my head, whispering, I can't believe you. Later, when I told my parents, they actually sided with her. They said I should be grateful for Brianna's generosity, that I was being unreasonable. Unreasonable. I'm the one being unreasonable for not wanting to become homeless. I felt so alone, so betrayed, like the world was collapsing around me. And I knew right then and there that this was just the beginning. Okay, Reddit, buckle up. This is getting worse, way worse. After Brianna's insane demand, I tried talking to her again, tried to reason with her. Like an idiot, I called her, trying to keep my voice calm. Brianna, we need to talk about this house thing again. It's just not possible. I appreciate your help with the girls, I really do, but she cut me off. Liam, don't make this harder than it has to be. Just sign the papers. It's the easiest solution for everyone. Easiest solution for everyone, except me and my kids who would be out on the street. Easy for you, Brianna. You're asking me to give up my home, my daughter's home. Where do you expect us to go? Oh, stop being so dramatic, she scoffed. You can find somewhere. Rent an apartment. Plenty of people do it. Plenty of people don't get extorted by their own family. My hands were shaking. I could feel my face getting hot. This isn't about renting an apartment, Brianna. This is about you trying to take something that isn't yours. This house is part of my late wife's legacy. It's for my girls. And then she hit me with the guilt trip. Wow, Liam, so I'm the bad guy now, after everything I've done for you. After all the times I've dropped everything to help with your kids. You're so ungrateful. Ungrateful. That word stung. I was starting to doubt myself. Was I being unreasonable? Was I being ungrateful? No, this wasn't right. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. Brianna, helping with the girls is something family does. It's not something you get paid for, let alone a house for. Oh, so family doesn't deserve compensation for their time and effort. Is that what you're saying? She twisted my words, making me sound like a monster. Classic Brianna. My head was pounding. I felt trapped, like I was drowning in her manipulation. That's not what I'm saying at all, but this is extortion, Brianna, it's wrong. Extortion? Don't be ridiculous. I'm just looking out for myself. You should be doing the same. And then she hung up. I just stood there, phone in my hand, shaking. I felt sick to my stomach. This wasn't normal. This wasn't how families were supposed to treat each other. This was toxic. And I knew deep down that this was only going to escalate. God, I need help. What do I do, Reddit? What do I do? A week later, and things have gone nuclear. I'm seriously starting to question my sanity. Brianna has weaponized the entire family against me. It's like some twisted, real-life game of Survivor, and I'm the one getting voted off the island. First, it was the aunts and uncles. Calls, texts, emails, all echoing the same damn narrative. Brianna has done so much for you, Liam. You should be ashamed of yourself for treating her like this. She's family, Liam. Family takes care of each other. Yeah, family also doesn't try to rob each other blind. Then my grandmother got involved. Grandmother. She called me, her voice trembling, and said, Liam, dear, I'm so disappointed in you. Brianna told me everything. You need to apologize to your sister and give her what she deserves. What she deserves? The house, my kids' home. I wanted to scream. And then the Facebook post. The Facebook post. Brianna posted this long, sappy, woe is me status about how she's been unfairly treated and taken advantage of by her selfish brother. No names, of course, but everyone knew who she was talking about. The comments section exploded. People I barely knew, distant relatives, old high school friends, all piling on, telling me what a terrible person I am. I felt like I was being publicly crucified. It's affecting everything. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I'm constantly on edge waiting for the next attack. My work is suffering, I'm snapping at my daughters, I feel like I'm failing them. Failing everyone. This morning I got a text from my cousin Mark. We were close growing up. I thought he'd understand. The text read, Liam, just give her the house. It's not worth it, you're tearing the family apart. Tearing the family apart. SHES tearing the family apart. With her lies and manipulation, I deleted the text. I just can't deal with this anymore. I have to do something. This isn't just about the house anymore. This is about my daughters, about protecting them from this toxic environment, about reclaiming my life. I'm starting to think I need a lawyer. This is insane, I'm losing everything. And I'm not going down without a fight. I was a mess. Absolutely a mess. I felt like I was drowning in quicksand, and every time I tried to reach out for help, I just sank deeper. I finally broke down and told my friend Sarah everything. Sarah's a therapist, and I usually try to keep my family drama away from her, but I was desperate. We met for coffee, and I just spilled it all out. The house, the babysitting, Brianna's manipulation, my family turning against me, the Facebook post, the whole horrifying saga. I was hesitant at first, embarrassed, ashamed, like it was somehow my fault. I started rambling, it's my late wife's house, Sarah. It's all we have left of her. And Brianna, she's trying to take it. Because she thinks she deserves it for watching my kids. After their mother died. My voice cracked, I could barely get the words out. Sarah just listened, her eyes wide with disbelief. When I finished, she was silent for a moment, just staring at me. Then she said, Liam, this is insane. This is not normal family behavior. This is textbook emotional manipulation. Hearing those words, textbook emotional manipulation, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. Brianna's constant guilt trips, the way she twisted my words, the public shaming, it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault, it was her. She's creating this narrative, Sarah continued, where she's the victim and you're the ungrateful villain. She's isolating you from your family, making you doubt yourself, and using your guilt to control you. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. Like someone had finally given me permission to feel what I was feeling, to acknowledge the toxicity of the situation. Liam, she said, her voice gentle but firm, you have every right to set boundaries with your family. You are not obligated to give in to Brianna's demands. This is your house, your children, your life. Those words, your life, they resonated so deeply. I had lost sight of that. I had been so caught up in trying to appease everyone, trying to keep the peace, that I had forgotten I even had a life of my own to protect. But my family, they all believe her, I whispered, the shame creeping back in. Sarah shook her head. Liam, their beliefs are being manipulated by Brianna. You need to focus on protecting yourself and your daughters. This isn't about winning their approval. It's about your well-being. That conversation with Sarah was a turning point. It was like I finally woke up from a nightmare. I realized I wasn't crazy. I wasn't being unreasonable. I was being manipulated. And I knew right then and there that I had to fight back for myself. And most importantly, for my daughters. I needed to be their protector, their shield. And I wouldn't let Brianna or anyone else take that away from me. It was a Saturday morning. Pancakes were sizzling on the griddle, cartoons were playing on the TV, and Maya and Chloe were giggling, covered in syrup. For a fleeting moment, things felt normal. Then the phone rang, it was my mom. Liam, she started, her voice strained. Brianna is really upset. She says you won't let her see the girls. My blood ran cold. I hadn't seen Brianna since the compensation conversation, hadn't even spoken to her. What are you talking about? She hasn't even asked to see them. Well, she says she called and you didn't answer. She says you're keeping them from her. I knew exactly what was happening. Brianna was twisting the narrative, playing the victim, again. Mom, she's lying. She's trying to make me look bad. Liam, just let her see the girls. It's not fair to them. They miss their aunt. There it was, the guilt trip. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. I'll talk to the girls. If they want to see her, we can arrange something. Later that day, as I was tucking Chloe in for a nap, Maya came into the room, her eyes wide with confusion. Daddy, she whispered, Auntie Brianna said you don't want her to see us anymore. Is that true? My heart shattered. Brianna had gone too far, way too far. She was poisoning my daughters against me, using them as pawns in her sick game. A wave of rage washed over me, so intense it felt physical. My hands clenched, my chest tightened, and my vision blurred. No, honey, that's not true at all, I said, forcing my voice to stay calm. Auntie Brianna is just confused. Confused? She was a master manipulator. Maya hesitated, then said, she said you're mad at her because she helps us so much. That was it. The final straw. I saw red. This wasn't just about the house anymore. This was about protecting my daughters from Brianna's toxic influence. This was about reclaiming my family. I felt a shift inside me, a hardening. The fear and self-doubt that had been plaguing me for weeks, it vanished, replaced by a fierce determination, a burning need to protect my children. I pulled Maya close, held her tight, and said, Maya, sometimes grown-ups have disagreements. But Daddy will never stop Auntie Brianna from seeing you if you want to see her. Okay? I wanted her to know, without a shadow of a doubt, that I was on her side, that I would fight for her. In that moment, everything changed. I was no longer the victim. I was a warrior, and I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to expose Brianna. I needed to show my family, once and for all, what she was really like. I needed to protect my daughters from her poisonous lies, and I would do whatever it took. All right, Reddit, I'm done playing defense. Time to go on the offensive. This isn't just about the house anymore, it's about my kids. Brianna crossed a line she can't uncross. I'm taking her down. First, I started documenting everything. Every text, every email, every voicemail from Brianna and my family. Screenshots, printed copies, the works. I even started keeping a journal, detailing every interaction, every lie, every manipulation tactic. Paranoid? Maybe, but I needed a paper trail. I knew Brianna would try to twist things, so I needed hard evidence. Then I dug deeper. Remember that manila envelope with the deed? I went through it again, meticulously. Turns out, Brianna had forgotten a few key documents, including an email chain between her and a real estate agent discussing the potential sale price of the house. Jackpot. She wasn't just trying to secure her future. She was planning to sell our family home. The rage I felt was incandescent. I called Sarah, my therapist friend. I have proof, I told her, my voice shaking with a mixture of anger and triumph. Proof that she's lying, that she's trying to sell the house. Sarah listened patiently, then said, Liam, this is huge. You need to present this to your family, show them the truth. But what if they don't believe me? The doubt still lingered, a pesky little fly buzzing around my head. Then you've done everything you can, Sarah said firmly. You've protected yourself, you've protected your daughters, and that's what matters. Her words were a balm to my frayed nerves. I knew she was right. Next, I reached out to a lawyer. Just a consultation for now. I needed to know my rights. Needed to know how to protect myself and my girls legally. The lawyer was reassuring, confirming that Brianna's demands were indeed extortion and that I had a strong case if it came to a legal battle. This was my house, and I wasn't giving it up without a fight. Knowing I had legal options, it felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I finally felt like I had some power back. Finally, the mental and emotional prep. This was the hardest part. I knew confronting Brianna and my family would be brutal. It would be like ripping off a band-aid, exposing a festering wound. But I had to do it, for my daughters, for my sanity, for my future. I spent hours visualizing the confrontation, practicing what I would say, steeling myself for the inevitable backlash. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was ready. I scheduled a family meeting at my house. Brianna, my parents, everyone. I even invited my cousin Mark, the one who told me to just give her the house. I wanted them all to hear the truth. I prepared a concise presentation, outlining Brianna's lies and manipulations, backed up by my meticulously gathered evidence. I printed out the email chain with the real estate agent, highlighted the incriminating parts in bright yellow. I was prepared for tears, for shouting, for DNILS, but I wouldn't back down. This wasn't just about winning an argument. This was about reclaiming my life. And I was ready for war. This is it, Reddit, wish me luck. This is going to be epic. Okay, Reddit, here's the play-by-play of the nuclear family showdown. I still can't believe it actually happened. Everyone was gathered in my living room. Brianna, radiating smugness, sat next to my parents, who looked apprehensive. Even Mark, my cousin, seemed uncomfortable. My hands were shaking, but my voice was surprisingly steady as I began. I've called this meeting because there's been a lot of misinformation spread about me and my situation with Brianna, I said, making direct eye contact with each of them. I'm here to set the record straight. Brianna scoffed. Oh, here we go. Liam's going to tell us how we're all wrong and he's the victim. I ignored her, taking a deep breath. Brianna demanded I sign over my late wife's house to her as compensation for occasionally watching my daughters. My mom gasped. Brianna, is that true? Brianna waved her hand dismissively. It's not a big deal, Mom. I deserve something for all I've done. Something? You wanted the house, Brianna. I raised my voice, the anger starting to boil over. Liam, you're being dramatic, my dad said, his voice laced with annoyance. Brianna was just trying to help. Help by extorting me, by trying to make me and my daughters homeless. Then I dropped the bomb. I held up the printed emails. Brianna wasn't planning to live in the house, she was planning to sell it. I tossed the papers onto the coffee table right in front of them. Here's the proof. Emails between her and a real estate agent discussing the sale price. Silence. Dead silence. My parents stared at the emails, their faces draining of color. Mark's jaw dropped. Brianna's smugness evaporated, replaced by a look of pure panic. That's not what it looks like, she stammered, reaching for the papers. Oh really? I snatched them back. Then explain why you were discussing listing the house before you even asked me to sign it over. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. She had no answer. The truth was staring them all in the face, bright as the highlighter I'd used. My mom looked at Brianna, her eyes filled with disbelief. Brianna, is this true? Brianna avoided her gaze, mumbling something about needing financial security. My dad, always Brianna's biggest defender, finally spoke, his voice low and shaky. Brianna, I can't believe you would do this. That was the turning point. My dad, the unwavering supporter, finally saw the truth. The power dynamic shifted. I wasn't the outcast anymore. I was the one holding the cards. I turned to my parents, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and sadness. You both sided with her. You accused me of being ungrateful, of tearing the family apart. And all along, SHE was the one lying. She was the one manipulating everyone. They looked ashamed. Humiliated. They had been played just like me. And then, I continued, my voice rising, she had the audacity to poison my daughters against me, telling them I didn't want her to see them, using them as weapons in her sick game. Brianna started to cry, crocodile tears. I didn't mean. You didn't mean what, Brinna, to steal our home, to destroy my relationship with my daughters. What? I was done. Done with the lies. Done with the manipulation. Done with being the family scapegoat. The air was thick with tension. My parents sat in stunned silence. Mark looked like he'd seen a ghost. And Brianna just sat there, sobbing, her carefully constructed facade crumbling around her. I looked at them all, one by one. I'm done, I said, my voice firm. I'm cutting off all contact with Brianna. And until you two, I gestured to my parents, can acknowledge what she's done and support me and my daughters, I'm limiting contact with you as well. I turned and walked out of the room, leaving them to stew in the wreckage of Brianna's lies. I felt a sense of peace, a calmness I hadn't felt in weeks. I had finally stood up for myself. I had protected my daughters. I had reclaimed my life, and it felt amazing. It was messy. It was painful, but it was necessary, and it was finally over. So Reddit, that's it, that's the story. It's not pretty, but it's the truth. I'm still picking up the pieces, but I'm stronger now. I know my worth, I know what I'm capable of. And I'll never let anyone, not even family, treat me like that again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. It means more than you know. It's been a few months since the explosion. The fallout has been, well, messy, just as I expected. Immediately after the confrontation, my parents were in shock. They didn't speak to me for a week. Then my mom called, apologized, and asked if I was okay. She admitted that they had been blinded by Brianna's manipulation and hadn't seen what she was truly doing. It was a start. My dad, though, he's still struggling. He hasn't apologized directly, but he does call to check in on the girls, which is something. I'm taking it slow with them. Trust is earned, not freely given anymore. Brianna, radio silence. She hasn't tried to contact me or the girls. Part of me wonders if she's even realized the extent of the damage she's caused. Honestly, I don't care. I'm done with her toxicity. It's been surprisingly peaceful, like a weight has been lifted. I've blocked her on everything. Gone. The best thing is Maya and Chloe are doing great. They haven't asked about Brianna, and I'm not going to bring it up unless they do. They're happy, they're thriving, and that's all that matters. My cousin Mark, bless his heart, reached out and apologized for telling me to just give Brianna the house. He admitted he was swayed by the family narrative and didn't see the full picture. We're actually closer now than we've been in years. It's funny how these things work out. True friends stick around, even when things get ugly. As for me, I'm in therapy. Sarah's been a lifesaver, helping me work through the trauma of losing my wife, dealing with the family drama, and navigating the complexities of single parenthood. I'm learning to set boundaries, to prioritize my own well-being, and to recognize toxic behavior. It's a process, but I'm getting there. I've also been focusing on building a strong, stable, and loving environment for my girls. We've started new traditions, made new memories, and found our own rhythm. The house, our sanctuary, feels more like ours now than ever before. It's filled with laughter, love, and the comforting presence of my late wife's memory. We're healing. We're growing. We're thriving. This whole experience has been a brutal lesson in family dynamics, manipulation, and the importance of self-preservation. I've learned that sometimes, even the people closest to you can be the most toxic, and that it's okay, even necessary, to protect yourself from them. It's not selfish, it's survival. So Reddit, has anyone else dealt with something similar? How did you handle it? Any advice for navigating the aftermath of a family blow-up? Just curious to hear your thoughts.